He's having a heart attack. Freud, no, please don't die. You have so much work to do. Us future psychotherapists are counting on you. Hey everyone, welcome to Lexi Games. Tonight we're gonna play Freud's Bones. As a psychotherapist in training, this game is right up my alley. I'm more of a Carl Jung kind of girl, but Freud is the only one with a game. So I discovered this game randomly on Steam because I really love detective games, as you guys know, and this game promised to be kind of like an infiltration into the mind and technique of Freud's work. So I thought, okay, why not give it a go? I already played through the entirety of the game, but it's been a couple of months since I've done that, so I don't remember so much. It will feel almost as if I'm playing it one more time. Without further ado, let's get into the game. Let's infiltrate. So we have here a new game. Okay, so let's see. Psychoanalysis, the new black magic. Bergasse 19 hosts a red light studio popular with the hysteric and bored Viennese middle class. I don't know if I should read all of that. Let's just move forward and see what's happening. So Dr. Freud would be nothing more than a venal, perverse, and angry Jew. Ooh. Okay, we're getting political right off the bat. Nothing is more intriguing. I've always been fascinated by the outcasts of society. They are like mirrors that show us our deformations. I think you should meet him. Who knows, maybe fraternizing with a perverted genius will surprise you. If people were saying this about Freud, I wonder what they would think about the current Pluto and Scorpio generation. Chapter 1, The Dark Night of the Soul. Okay, here we go, guys. Obviously, Bergasse 19 is his address in Vienna. Professor Dr. Freud. 3 und 4. We are in his office. In a real dark night of the soul, it is always 3 o'clock in the morning, day after day. This kind of reminds me of Groundhog Day. Do you guys know the movie? It's one of my favorite comfort movies. Whoever said that was extremely right. A festive bedlam of voices dwells in my mind. How did I come to this point? Well, no nightly self-analysis can start without its cigar. Yeah, we're going to give him some things that are pretty much toxic and illegal nowadays. I'm dying of my own poison. I'm happy he's aware of that. To protect my theory, my intuitions, I had to make an act of faith. I had to trust my instinct. Escape from society. Turning away the curious, the skeptical friends, to find myself equally nailed night after night to the cross of my solitude. What once appeared to me as a refuge now looks like a gilded cage. I don't find any relief in wine, in other people's company. Even sex lately doesn't give me any satisfaction. Okay. Maybe cocaine caused a severe depression. I'm sure it has. I'm sure it has a lot to do with your current mood. Ach! I'm still burning in my insomnia while time passes by. Where is that mandrake infusion? Jude was into the whole pharmacopoeia, right? I have to calm down and rest if I don't want to look like a drug addict tomorrow. Yeah. A dark monologue, right? I told you that our dear Dr. Freud is gripped by a deep crisis. At least once in a lifetime, I think you felt lost in a labyrinth without a map. Now it's time to introduce yourself in his mind. He's struggling with a midlife crisis. Help him finding a light and changing radically his view about the human mind. Discover the roots of Dr. Freud's crisis. Take possession of Freud's bones. Okay. I feel like a chill runs through me. Oh, it's actually shaking. He's having a heart attack. Freud, no, please don't die. You have so much work to do. Us future psychotherapists are counting on you. That cigar should be accompanied by a good aged whiskey. Oh my god, we're just plying him with toxins. Or, mandrake is for old ladies. It won't prepare you for what you're going to hear. So should we amplify our desires, or should we be stoic and strong? I wouldn't necessarily say that mandrake is for old ladies. That's kind of ageist, you know. Old ladies should enjoy themselves if they want to. Mandrake is for everybody. But I wouldn't want to give him whiskey because he's already plied with cocaine and a midlife crisis. So let's go for the fist. Sit down, Sigmund. Well, actually, mandrake has some calming effects that... Wait a moment. Who's talking? Okay, Sigmund, keep calm. He's hearing voices? Maybe it's just an auditory hallucination, for sure a side effect of cocaine. Or maybe it's the result of this long time insomnia. Take a breath. Oh my god, can you imagine? Like, he hasn't been sleeping for a while and he's taking cocaine. Can you imagine the warped mindset he has? No wonder that he's close to a heart attack. You are certainly facing another side effect of cocaine. Simply practice gradual abstinence, smoke more. Don't do that. And allow yourself a bit of fun, of loss of control, or you will become a neurasthenic. Good. It's been short, it went away fast. I'd better find that damn mandrake and go back to bed. Maybe it's neither insomnia nor cocaine that is the cause of this voice. Dig deeper. They are the only possible logical solutions. I'm a man of science. Come on, Sigmund, it's just a nervous breakdown. You can get away with this. You're trying to handle the situation with arrogance is not necessary. I'm here to help you. You should question me instead of shutting me up. Okay, let's go for you should question me instead of shutting me up. I do not question an auditory hallucination. I cure this kind of disease. I don't suffer from them. He always acts like this while under pressure. This is Dr. Sigmund Freud in all his cynicism. After all, he knows very well who you are. Sigmund Freud was a sun in Taurus, and he had a stellium of planets in the sign of Taurus, including Pluto. He was stubborn as F, okay? So, who better than the inventor of psychoanalysis could explain the task of an inner voice? The time has come. Let Freud give you a shape. Okay, so let's see. Is Freud's inner voice to be a cat or a bird? I mean, I'm obsessed with cats, so it's easy for me. Do not perceive me as a voice. Imagine me as a petulant cat. Imagine me as a wise crow. Why petulant? Cats are amazing. They're not necessarily petulant. Okay, let's go for the cat. I don't want to imagine you as a petulant cat. Animism is not for me, and I am a dog supporter. Of course, he's a dog lover. Okay. Sigmund, let me take the weight of your consciousness upon my shoulders. Very noble. There's no freedom that can be imposed against your will. Disappear, go away. He's like in the unavowed, banish, unclean spirit. I am the master of my thoughts. I am the captain of my soul. I need a t-shirt with that. In the face of pride, one must respond with grace and cunning. Sigmund, now you touch your chin. Haha. May you be cursed. That's not real. I can't control my movements. He's being controlled like a puppet by his inner voice in the guise of a petulant cat. This is so meta. It's Dr. Freud is predictably reluctant to your presence. Now the time has come for you to take control of him. From now on you can manage his movements and taking decisions about his life. So that was just the intro, guys. Yeah? You should know that you don't have to stand up against inner voices. You're deliciously fussy. He called me delicious. You're stubborn. Oh my god, is he projecting much? You should be part of my unconscious. There's a reason I don't know if you're here. I will let you take control, but remember that I am Sigmund Freud. Explore Dr. Freud's office looking for clues that can reveal the cause of his crisis. Left click on the items. Okay, we have a typewriter, we have weird Egyptian machinery, we have radio, we have bookcase, painting, more bookcases, a message, bookcase, portrait, armchair, famous couch, marble, telephone, tobacco, the desk, Egyptian statuettes, cigar, clinical record, and statue of Socrates. Let's go for the Egyptian machinery. A small reproduction of Anubis on the Pyramid of Cheops. Ancient Egypt was full of mystery and magic. Sometimes I think I hear a whisper. It troubles me deeply. Typewriter. My graphomania is pathological. Strumming over this magnificent instrument gives me a sense of freedom. Graphomania being the intense desire to write, the obsessive, compulsive desire to write. Okay, we have bookcase. Good choice. This is not just a bookcase to me. Literature is the most powerful poison for a restless mind. Completely agree. It contains secrets, poisons, bombs. Every time you need to find questions or answers, check it. It will help you. Do you want to read? Sure, why not? We have Notes from the Underground by Dostoevsky, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Wilde, and The Tempest by Shakespeare. Notes from the Underground. Dostoevsky was a Scorpio sun, and he was the opposite on the zodiac wheel from Freud. So reading him is like reading his shadow. One circumstance also tormented me then, the very fact that no one resembled me. I am alone, and they are everyone, I thought, and sat engrossed for a long time. I must admit, sometimes I talk to the ghosts of past geniuses so that I don't feel that way. I didn't think you felt so isolated. I long for the closeness of men, but when I get it, thoughts begin to shatter, their banalities manage to hurt me. I feel I'm in the grip of a similar neurosis to Freud at the moment. I feel the same about people. Well, but what would you know about it? Let's read the message. Nothing is more visible than things hidden, Confucius. His features of snarky satire always inspired me. Do you know his most famous and misunderstood exhortation? Exhortation is a word. Ignore yourself. Know thyself, you ignorant. It was inscribed on the temple of Apollo. Apollo being the son of the god of sun and music and artistry, and he was the twin brother of the goddess Diana Artemis, the goddess of the moon. And I'm gonna stop showing off now. I just wanted to cover the police alarm outside so you guys would be distracted. It was an invitation to delve into the soul, but he knew very well that in the end, he who commits himself to the utmost of his ability, he can light a flame in the boundless darkness. Ooh. That's actually kind of a sexy thought. I want to be a flame in the boundless darkness. I want to light up somebody's life. Okay, I think that we can maybe look into the clinical records already. I don't know if we have to go through everything. No, you're definitely not ready to spy on my patients' lives. Okay, we're not ready yet. Cigar? You want to take a puff? Is there a burning cigar in your studio all the time? All caps lock. Every hardened smoker treats his cigars as a friend and not as mere material goods. Oh my god, he has a relationship with his toxins. Okay, Egyptian statuettes? The Egyptians, what an exceptional population. Right now I would resume their custom of gouging brains out from the noses of the dead just to make you disappear. Aw, come on, I'm not that bad. I'm actually a really cozy, comfortable inner voice. I may not drive you to madness if you treat me well. I think you're undervaluing me. Highly unlikely. What about the tobacco over here? Smoking is vital if you don't have anyone to kiss. That's his issue. He just needs more kisses. He's got an oral fixation. Here we have a Reina Cubana cigar. Freud is a hardened smoker. Smoking seems to help overcome stress and favor it concentration. It's what he seems to like most in his life. The stress bar also increases and decreases in relation to the type of cigar he smokes and the frequency with which he does it. Ah, okay. We have this little crazy man over here in the corner. Oh, Reina Cubana. Exotic, strong taste, ideal for my dreamlike journeys. So we see him over here. Let's go to the couch. Let's see. Maybe he can rest a little bit. It made me famous, but it is especially important to me as it holds sentimental value. It is a present from Mrs. Benevisti, an old patient of mine. It covered it with the Persian carpet to make it more comfortable. I covered it. Then I realized that my patients drew benefits from lying down. The trance stages last longer and they're less reluctant to let thoughts slip out of their lips. If this armchair could speak, it would reveal all the sighs and pains of my patients. My grandson Stephen and I. Yes, I only express tenderness with dogs and children. Should we call somebody? I don't know if we can do that, but let's try. Through the intercom, I can call Mina, my pedantic secretary and sister-in-law. Never mix your job with your family, remember it. Some gossipy voices say that Mina became his mistress, which is fascinating because Mina was the sister of his wife, who gave him about 6 children, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Vienna back in the day was a cesspool of repressed desire. Okay, so let's see. What the hell am I doing? Am I starting to give you advice? I see the statue of Buddha. It came with a gong. My atheism is not questioned by this object. I bought it during a trip to America. It gives me peace when I look at it. Let's turn on the radio, I think. Without music, life would be a mistake. What regret never having met you, Friedrich Nietzsche. And then the painting. José Benliur Iguil. I mispronounced that, painted a Charon in the moment of maximum emotional tension in the attempt to ferry souls. I often feel like him. Okay, I think I clicked on everything. Could we now maybe use the desk? My desk is strictly chaotic. I assume you want to snoop around in the drawers, so I'll go ahead of you. Oh, a train ticket to Berlin? My dear friend Lou Salome invited me to the presentation of her last work. She was a brilliant, fascinating woman, Lou Salome, and she was also the mistress of Nietzsche for a very short while, amongst other people. Oh, uh-oh. What else has to happen tonight? Where did the sound come from? Approach the pyramid slowly. Anubis is giving us a task. My ancient Egyptian is a little rusty, but I should be able to figure out these hieroglyphics. I obviously didn't think I brought home a cursed artifact when I brought it in Cairo, but never mind. Click on the hieroglyphs to enlarge them. Okay. So, we have to discover, future, third person singular. We have here as well wounds. We have of others, and we have the sun, your, on top of, ooh, what is that? Illness, torment. To discover the wounds of others, your torment. He suffers because he is delving so much into the wounds of other people. So do I have to click on them? I think it means you will uncover the wounds of others who will discover your illness. Freud is suffering because he needs to be treated as well. Oh, he's been treating everybody else, but nobody treats him. An artifact cannot animate itself, nor can it spit out judgments. I'm losing my mind. I think this was before therapeutical supervision came into place as a regulated body of work, you know. Okay. But this piece looks like me. Maat, Anubis was the Egyptian god who judged the souls of the dead by weighing their hearts. Is this witchcraft, judging me? If the weight of this heart will not be the same as the feather, what will happen to me? He will be thrown into the jaws of a beast who's going to continuously rip him to shreds day after day after day. But if his heart is actually feather-light, then he will enter into the afterlife and he will meet Osiris in the fields of wheat. So yeah, I think we have to do some work here to get him feather-light. Those whispers were real, it's cursed. Let's accept magic as part of reality and make sense of it, or Anubis provokes you like me. You must think about what torments you or you will go mad. Let's accept magic as part of reality. Oh, now I'm just sleepy. I can't absorb the hissing of your gab. Do you want to sleep? Let's put him to bed. I'm trying to reach the part of the game where we get to analyze his clients. His clients are all of Freud's famous cases. Oh, you did well. You did well, Freud. Rest well. Dream interpretation, anyone? Comment down below, what do you think Freud's dream represented? This mind is a horrible theater. You have to dig deep. You have to understand why Dr. Freud is full of torments. I mean, obviously, once you get immersed so much through your work in the pain of others, you need a holiday, or you need to kind of exercise your own pain somehow. Because empathetically speaking, you just absorb so much from other people. His nightmare is about the pyramid, my sudden appearance in a creepy window. I need him to slowly lower his defenses so he can confess. His nightmare is about the pyramid, my shocking appearance in what seems to be a prison. I'll have to act cruelly to break him and confess. Let's act slowly, never cruelly, okay? Yeah, so let's see, how can we get Freud to lower his defenses? Every man is torn apart by his drama and paranoia, but this man in particular needs to be shaken before it's too late. Only you can succeed in this challenge. I mean, he needs to fail in his work, because nothing can shake Freud worse than making mistakes or failing in his work. Because he cares so much about his work, right? And failure can be the beginning of healing. Sometimes the ego needs to break down a little bit to be changed. Click on the notebook. Let's see. Dr. Freud's diary contains his innermost thoughts. You can consult it to check his emotional state. Okay, so we have here his thoughts. We have envelope, I guess the letters he received. We have here money. Okay, shillings. Okay, good. We have expenditure. You can give life to your hypotheses about your clinical cases. Take advantage of your intelligence and always be bold. Okay. In spite of my efforts, her company laces up a noose to my neck. During her absence, it takes my breath away. I'm a man, a husband, a father, but I can't be a victim of my responsibilities. She can get me away from myself without making me feel terrified. I can't go further. I can't destroy an entire family. He has an infatuation. Okay, he's crushing on somebody he knows he shouldn't have. The night has just passed. I am prey to an abnormal, palpable, dark delirium. A voice, an echo down the corridors of my burning mind, emerged, demanding control, power. I do not recognize his tone. I do not know his intent. I only know that it is part of me. The whispers of the pyramid continue. I pretend they don't exist, as if I could lie to myself. What hypocrisy pervades us! How petty can we be? Bile burns in the bowels. I feel the weight of an anvil on my neck. Which is interesting because he actually died of a severe form of throat cancer, possibly caused by all that tobacco abuse. Okay. The ratio bar increases with your tendency to use a didactic or technical approach. The into war bar increases according to the impulsive and intuitive choices you make. Okay. Dawn peeks out on another brand new day that may be worth everything or nothing. Arg, this migraine is a real thorn in the skull. Well, when you put so much pressure on yourself, I'd better start my day with a hot black coffee. Completely agree. Although it would take a bit of magic powder to regain strength. I don't want to give you that. Dude, you don't begin your day with white powder. I assume Dr. Freud thinks that you're just a bad dream. Remind him you're here today. You'll have to deal with his routine. Good morning, my devoted puppet. I've been fighting against myself for years. You're just a little tiff compared to my psychological fights. Remember to explore the studio every day. You will find interesting ideas. Head to the phone to communicate with Mina. Freud house, who is this? Good morning, Mina. How are you this morning? I'm pretty good, even if I would have preferred some company last night. I've been very busy with work. What a banality, Sigmund. What a banality! What do you want me to get you for breakfast? The first patient of the day will be here in a moment. Black coffee with orange cake, please. That's perfect. It sounds like a great breakfast. Oh, I almost forgot. You've got mail. Perfect, as usual. Thank you. Minutes later. So he had his coffee. Oh, there you are. The sunbeam reflects off your honey-colored fur. She's Jofi, but you're part of me. You know my love for her. She will flank us during sessions. Patients love to linger on her as they talk. It's so sweet. To read the letter, click the notebook. Okay, so let's see. Dear Dr. Freud, I'm writing these few but heartfelt lines to introduce the woman who will cross the threshold of your study on my advice, Elsa Kovac. Elsa is a special creature, and I want to tell you with regret that my attempt to cure her has failed. Cold baths, electroshock, administration of chloral and bromide, massages, everything was in vain. I entrust her to your wise care and innovative methods, hoping to have only good news at the end of such treatment. Let's see if I can lower the sound in the background a little bit. Okay. I admire the dedication of some doctors, but this concern, I don't trust doctors who are too apprehensive. Something doesn't add up. You're finally starting to look like me. I'm not inclined to trust either. We'll see. You still have a letter to open, you'd better hurry up. What? There's something strange about this letter. So it's a letter from Lou. I write and delete without giving myself peace. I don't know where to start. The thread of my thoughts breaks as soon as reason assails me, and I would like only the flame that devours my chest to speak at the thought of that afternoon. I have always admired the fierce elegance of your silences, and it was those silences that led me to you. I wanted to understand what was hidden behind that fog. A woman in an all-made environment tends to kick or perish. You seem to float. Our contact has been a source of dreams and fantasies for me. Will you come to Rome? I'll be staying in this city full of sound and colors for 2 more weeks, and I don't want to devote myself only to the care of my mother. I want to absorb this place. I want your shadow to follow mine. Ooh, she was a really good writer. Okay, I think we have to click on certain words. Afternoon, okay. Woman. Damn it, Lou. Your across-the-board appeal and emancipation make you elusive. Every mind and every nuance attracts you, whether male or female. She was a free thinker, an independent spirit, very beautiful as well, because she was an Aquarius sun, so, you know, Aquarians tend to make people be crazy over them. Dreams and fantasies. Will you come to Rome? Okay, sorry guys, I'm just clicking to see if I'm not missing something. Do we have everything we need? I can't put it down, I must examine it completely. Ah, okay, so I think I'm missing something. Ah, the address. The mystery is now revealed. It's addressed to my daughter, Anna. Oh, the plot thickens. Okay. Rome, suffocating heat, mosquitoes, good wine, and bursting sexuality. Yeah, no, not at all my experience of that place. I found everybody incredibly frigid and repressed in Rome. But why is Lou Salome in Italy? There are no further elements to analyze. Okay, good. So we can move forward. The letter is addressed to A. Freud. There is something intriguing between your beloved daughter and her dear friend. Shut up! You don't think that I have a raw nerve like that? But this doesn't mean I thought they could follow up. Lou Salome is a woman with a dusky charm. She has fine intellectual gifts, feminine kindness, and masculine fervor. But Anna, she... Continue the sentence. That's enough. I won't go on your personal sadistic pleasure. It is strange that such an emancipated man is suffering from this homophobia. Call it as it is. Call it as it is in her voice. Maybe he's just worried Anna's married. Will change his mind. I don't forcibly want to change anybody's mind, so let's just go with maybe he's just worried. Now let's take a look at the clinical record. Yes, finally we can access it. The clinical record of the patient contains all the basic medical information you need to solve the case. The available sections increase as the clinical case progresses. Okay, so we have Elsa Kovac. She's 24 years old. She's Hungarian, unmarried. She lives in Vienna. Her symptomatology is paralysis of the lower limbs, diffuse tingling, and subsequent bouts of depression. Medications. You can peek through them but understand them only after the session. So she's been at the Rathaus Hospital, Altes Rathaus Hospital. Okay. Chloral hydrate is good for decreasing the excitement. Suspend as soon as you recognize intolerance. Bromide, 5 to 6 grams a day. So she's in a fervor. That sounds like mania, but let's see. First, we need to figure out what kind of medication Elsa took, then we're gonna analyze the report. Young woman has multiple wounds of different sizes and depths on the right leg, so she may have been hurting herself. Damage reported as accidental. A visual examination noted bruising, not correspondent with the description given by the woman. We recommend examination to psychiatry department due to agitation and convulsive tremors in the patient. No damage to tendons and nerves, copious bleeding, removal of glass fragments from wounds. Ow. Oof, poor Elsa. Okay, my dreams heave sweet. I must swallow them carefully. I must turn around and hear the liquid sound of your footsteps that do not look for me. I drink 30-40 cups. I drown and hang myself with your weary sighs. The wine warms me, its cuts freezes me. I beg, pray to courage. I follow you into the woods of your nose, wife. You inhabit breaks my breath, and I want to poison you with me, to rip open the bones of the deaf, to bind myself to the edges of you. I can't go on, mother. I dig myself, search myself, sleepless. A red river warms my icy veins. Your hands are my belly, as if it never existed. Huh. Okay, so let's see. So Eva apparently also has two sisters, Edith and Elsa. And Eva was born in 1893. She's an Aries because she was born on the 10th of April. And she has two sisters who are older than her, not by much. Okay. So she's the youngest in the family. Anything else? Diagnosis, notes, documents, family status. Let's see. Young woman of great intellect. She lives in a mansion in the countryside. The mourning for the death of her father, to whom she acted as a nurse during all the years of youth, generated pain and depression. She has some sisters or married who seem to have abandoned her to a cruel fate. Absent, so she has no life in society. Now without friends or without a love, the patient lives of fantasies in which she takes refuge. I doubt she's ever had a relationship of any value. Poor Elsa. During a lunch in the garden, she reports to have fallen on some shards of glass, seriously injuring herself. Admitted to the hospital, she was then transferred to the psychiatric ward due to a very suspicious nervous breakdown. She doesn't walk anymore, she's stiff and apathetic. Rumors coming from the Bellevue clinic report that Miss Kovac refused the sister's visit for weeks, accepting only the sporadic presence of her brother-in-law and grandchild. So there's something going on there with her family. Although I still can't believe that I'm about to let you take the lead, I believe it's appropriate that before you dive into the therapy session, you must learn the basics of my controversial but brilliant theory. What an arrogant Jew. I know what you're thinking. I was definitely not thinking that. If I hadn't protected myself from skepticism with my weapons, I'd still be dissecting fish brains. Come on, follow me. To check the encyclopedia, you can click on it in the specific icon in the menu. Okay, we have the Encyclopedia Britannica, and it gives us a brief description of psychoanalysis. The id, the hungry minotaur. The ego, a puppet that aspires to freedom. And the superego, the merciless general. Okay, Freud's works. A general introduction to psychoanalysis. I'm not going to read you guys all of this, it's too much, and I guess you can find it on Wikipedia as well. We have Übercoca, a magical substance. Yeah. And then we have pharmacology. So here we can check up, lose yourself in the ocean of culture and increase your skill points if you want to become a master. So there were a couple of chloral was mentioned and bromide was mentioned over here. Okay, and clinical cases. Okay. Salvador Dali, surrealist painter. Yeah, he was Freud's patient. Freud's stress must be under control to avoid a nervous breakdown. The first patient is here. Don't make me look bad. Don't destroy my hard years of study with some naivete. But above all, don't give in to the panic of initiation. Okay. Do you want to start the therapy session? Yes. It only took us 14 minutes to get here. Women like me are condemned to an eternal bleeding of the soul. Okay. This reminds me of the song, I keep bleeding, I keep bleeding, love. Okay, psychoanalysis is an interpretive technique. Use your weapons, break into the patient's mind, and bring the removed trauma and memories to consciousness. Healing comes through the acceptance of one's frailties. The psychic contents of patients are buried and protected by the id. The superego is a vigilant sniper. It will always prevent the removed content from reaching the level of consciousness. It's a very imaginative way of thinking about the layers of the psyche. The ego tries to maintain peace and apparent calm. When the trauma arrives on its level, you have discovered a key element of the clinical case. Okay. The patient's transference to Freud is crucial. The greater the patient's trust in you, the greater the success of their therapy. Click on Dr. Freud's notebook to refine your technique. So let's see. We have here Dictionary of Folkloric Symbols, Fee, the Ceremonial, Advice for the Doctor, Types of Patients, Transference, Psychoneurosis, the Impulse and Their Destinies. Okay, so this is about potentially uncovering some of the meaning of the symbols that patients report in their dreams or stories. The fee. Do not accept deferral of payment. The price per session is 50 shillings. Accepting payment deferrals may represent a lack of seriousness on the part of the doctor. The ceremonial. The patient must be allowed to exercise discretion in choosing their biographical and clinical aspects to be addressed in the first session. That was a Freudian lisp. Type of patients: obsessive neurotic, hysterical, psychotic, narcissist. Okay, it's not only that, there are a variety of other issues. The source, the destination, sublimation, the conversion. Okay, and psychoneurosis. Okay, it's a very kind of weird, brief kind of distillation of the theory, but anyway, we'll go with it. So, welcome, Ms. Kovac. Good morning, Dr. Freud. Your studio looks very old-fashioned. I was expecting, well, you know. What did you expect? Oh, let me guess, a series of bottles full of, toad tails and dandelions, or a swinging pendulum in the center of the room that can transcribe your astrological chart on the floor. That would be amazing. But he shouldn't influence her conversation in this way. I think he's saying too much. Well, I simply meant that this place has an old, ancient, actually timeless atmosphere. The dust on certain manuals looks like unmoving sand. The cigar burns on certain covers reveal how long you have handled some of those books. There is a warmth in this place that is strongly reaffirmed by every element. They say you're a sorcerer, a madman, a charlatan. I prefer to call myself a sphinx. I just hope I can decipher puzzles instead of laconically emanating them. No therapist would get away with saying, I prefer to call myself a sphinx. Like, code of ethics tell you, do not intervene too much into the process of the patient, and please don't try to fall into mythical narratives. Time flows, Elsa. We have to start. Okay, so let's build the story of Elsa. Paternal approach, clinical approach, passive approach. What kind of approach should we begin with? So, we saw from the information we already had that she preferred the company of men because in her visits at the clinic she did not receive the women in her family, but she received her brother-in-law and the child, who was a male as well. So it could be that she may benefit from a paternal approach. I don't think the clinical approach, it's too cold. And I don't think the provocative one, I believe I tried it when I played the game the first time and she only got irritated. So let's go for the paternal approach. It can inspire affability but also induce nervousness. Elsa, my dear, you will receive all my devoted attention. Elsa, I would like you to listen carefully, my dear. In the studio, you will receive all the devoted attention you deserve. You can let me see your wounds and your tears. I will be a shoulder and an eternal presence. Oh, please, Dr. Freud. I was told you were a gruff, pragmatic man. So I think we failed. Do you really think that dousing your tongue in molasses will make it easier to create a bond between us? I'd rather skip the pleasantries and clarify why I'm here. Can I hypnotize her? Months ago, I was the victim of a trivial domestic accident. I injured my leg with glass. But instead of treating me, the doctors opted for a hospitalization for nervous diseases. From that moment, my health has collapsed. My legs turned into 2 blocks of marble. Walking, lifting me up, they've become chimeras. They cut me open, they have me subjected to electroconvulsive therapy, cold baths. Your methods is my last chance to reclaim my legs. My life? Okay, that's interesting. Should we go for an analysis of her childhood? Try to look at the symptom, her legs, or personal life? Let's go for the symptom, because she seems to appreciate matter-of-fact approaches. So, let's see. Let's go into an accurate description of her limb pains. Is touch sensitive? If so, at what point? Do pains tend to come at evening, at night, or in broad daylight? Usually when patients have issues with their feet or their legs, it's something there about feeling like their life cannot move forward, like they are in some way incapacitated, like they cannot do much in their life. It's an issue there with action and with their masculine side. Do you have any other symptoms before an attack? Oh, sure. You base your activity on the fame that precedes you, a listener, an investigator, not a doctor. She's having so many defenses, like really. And then your first question you ask me is purely clinical. I'll explain it anyway. A strong sense of nausea accompanies every attack. An electric shock runs down my right leg to my ankle, then I get paralysis. The right leg, the right part of the body is associated with the masculine, the father. Sometimes writing gives me relief. I feel my legs lighten. Other times after a deep sleep, I find myself refreshed, but the attack comes again only after a few days. But ever since the doctors gave me their evil concoctions, I can only walk with a walking stick. So she is a young woman who's walking with a walking stick, almost as if she feels like her life is coming to an end. Like she's aging. Tell me about the accident. I was in the garden with my sisters and my mother. Lunch had just finished. The light illuminated my face. Maybe I had too many glasses of wine. Getting up, I felt dizzy and I fell onto the glass, shattering it. I was bleeding profusely. They took me to the hospital and I don't remember anything else. I took some pills. I woke up at the Bellevue clinic. Okay. Let's go into the relationship with the members of the family. Let's see. I do not understand what is this for. There are no cases of similar diseases in my family. I was born in Hungary and I spent my childhood in a subtle state of grace, protected from the poisonous power of life. I was a brave girl. I loved being outdoors, running, getting chased and escaping anyone who tried to grab me. So it's paradoxical that right now she can't use her legs. But for 6 years now, a leaden blanket has enveloped my family, which is now devastated by grief. My father had a heart disease that turned out to be genetic, like the one anyway, it was genetic, like the one Eva has. As soon as he died, my mother began to lose sight gradually and now resembles an old lost dog. Edith and Friedrich seem lost too. My sisters are now married. The whole burden falls on me, condemned to an eternal bleeding of the soul. Accepting losing one's life, feeling the reins of one's existence slip away. It's debilitating. It's difficult for you to understand. The speech is completely futile. So she feels deep sadness, but she immediately reacts with anger to protect herself. You need to understand the reason behind my disabling symptom. I won't be able to help anyone if I'm not able to walk. But maybe she needs help. Like who's helping her in this situation in which she feels like her life is keeping her trapped? She nominated a lot of people without defining their roles. You have to investigate for yourself. She seems pretty shaken up right now. Okay, so I guess we only have, tell me about yourself. I need information about your personality, Elsa. Tell me about yourself, your life, your aspirations, your relationships. That's not really a medical question. Besides, I knew I had to get into an anomalous argument by coming here, so assume that what we tell ourselves about ourselves is a narrative conditioned by subjective perceptions. I can call myself a woman, loath to mating, loath to adapting to public morality, simply loath. My father always called me rough and edgy. Maybe he was right. It's because she's an Aries sun, so, you know, she's a bit rough around the edges. I have no desire to marry, to disappear behind social labels, to make myself attractive to the eyes of phantom pretenders. I deeply love music despite my lack of talent. I love loneliness, fantasy, the company of my favorite writers at the expense of the banal personalities that surround me. Oh my god, I'm her. Have you ever questioned your reluctance to make social connections? I have family ties, and if I didn't live isolated in a mansion in the heart of the country, maybe I wouldn't be so icy, don't you think? After my father's death, Arnold decided the fate of all of us and took us from the center of Vienna, from friends, from salons. Men and their cravings for power. This sentence seems significant to me. I will write it down in my notebook. During the therapies, you could use the suggestions and spend ratio and intuitor points. But since I summoned you and entrusted you with an unclear task, I offer you 2 points. Okay, so what should we choose here? Do you miss any friends in particular? It's a bit vague, but we have here, tell me about Arnold and why he decided to move you. Okay, we're gonna touch here upon something quite tough. We're gonna risk irritating her a lot, but I think it's important to irritate her. I think it's important to break this bone, so let's see. Who is Arnold and why did he have the power to move you away from Vienna? Arnold is my brother-in-law, an irrelevant detail, Dr. Freud. No, he is important. He wouldn't trigger you this much if he wouldn't be important. Do you wish to outline a family tree or cure my ailments? Being the youngest of 3 sisters, it certainly would not be up to me. A capital choice like that, let alone. In the countryside, my physical conditions collapsed. Maybe she felt trapped by the fact that I know that in certain cases in the past, families had to marry their daughters one by one. So the eldest had to get married first, then the second in line, then the third in line. And it's like she had to wait a lot of time until she got married because she's the youngest. And right now she's considered to be in spinster age or something of that. Walks have become increasingly rare and cold baths more frequent. But didn't you say the symptoms started the day of the accident? It must have been horrible to have the first symptoms just before attending a party. I would go this one, investigate with cunning. I spend every night in the room next to my father's on a threadbare old-fashioned chair. Oh, the only way I could get to sleep was to remember the waltz Miss Gunderzahl taught me. Well, I used to wake up late at night because of my dad screaming and, oh god, poor girl. I laid my feet on the frozen floor and ran to rescue him with my heart pounding in my chest. Jesus, no wonder she's so sick. I put his heel on my thigh to massage him and one particular spot started to ache. The pain intensified and vanished, only to reappear, but it certainly is not comparable to what those doctors did to me. Oh, sweetie. I feel like crying with her. Our time seems to be up. Ask for 50 shillings. Ask the patient to pay for 3 sessions at a time. What? Wait for the patient to act. I'm deliberating between wait for her to act or ask for 50 shillings. I think that if we ask for 50 shillings, if we just put something pragmatic, it will snap her into reality because right now she's really heavily into her feelings. But we need to kind of like, do we allow her to snap out of it? I don't think she's capable. So let me slap Freudian lisp. So let me snap her out of it. You can leave the 50 shillings to my secretary, Mina. I hope you make a good new appointment. Goodbye. You keep taking the prescribed medication. It will ease your muscle pain. All right, goodbye. Yeah, she wasn't. She just gave me 10 shillings. It was a brief introduction but full of details, don't you think? Yeah, I think we discovered a lot. Now the most delicate moment has come, and the most risky. Find the apparently non-existent connections between the information you obtained from the session and from the documents contained in the clinical record. Despite the chaos, try not to lose it. The patient suffers from limb paralysis, so the symptom is nestled inside the leg. Each area of the leg represents an area of the symptom. Choose your line of inquiry. Trust your intuition. Solve the case. No, it's not an invitation, it's an order. Look for clues in the clinical record. At this stage, always remember to read the notes about the patient. Okay guys, so I am not going to continue with it because it's already 1 hour long. I did not expect playing this game to take 1 hour long. I wanted to make it like a shorter 30 minutes bout, but I just wanted to show you the first case, the first patient case. Let me know in the comments, how do you find this game? Would you be interested to see any of the other case? How can we cure her as well? Because yes, we can cure her. It's a fascinating game to me, but then again, as I said, I have a professional bias because I'm training to become a psychotherapist at the moment. So let me know if you would like me to play the next part. I would gladly help you out with that. But if this is where I leave you, then thank you for hanging out with me. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. I have so many more games coming your way. And until next time, just remember, have fun gaming. Ciao.